sort of would have assumed.
And what did you think the impact on society would be? Like, did you, when you first started doing this and you said, okay, if we are successful and we do create some massively advanced AGI, what is the implementation and what is the impact on society? Did you sit there and have like a graph, like you had the pros on one side, the cons on the other? Did you just sort of abstractly consider?
Well, we definitely talked a lot about the cons. Many of us were super worried about, and still are, about safety and alignment. And if we build these systems, we can all see the great future. That's easy to imagine. But if something goes horribly wrong, it's like really horribly wrong. And so there was a lot of discussion about, and really a big part of the founding spirit of this is like, how are we going to solve this safety problem? What does that even mean? One of the things that we believe is that the greatest minds in the world cannot sit there and solve that in a vacuum. You've got to like have contact with reality. You've got to see where the technology goes. Practice plays out in a stranger way than theory. And that's certainly proven true for us. But we had a long list of, well, I don't know if we had a long list of cons. We had a very intense list of cons because, there's like all of the last decades of sci-fi telling you about how this goes wrong and why you're supposed to shoot me right now.
Yeah.
And
I'm sure you've seen the John Connor Chat GPT.
I haven't.
Memes.
What is it?
It's like, John Connor from the Terminator, the kid, looking at you when you open up Chat GPT.
Yeah. So that stuff we were like very clear in our minds on. Now, I think we understand there's a lot of work to do, but we understand more about how to make AI safe in the AI safety gets overloaded. Like, does it mean don't say something people find? But I think we have finally more ideas about what can work. And given the way the systems are going, we have a lot more opportunities available to us to solve it than I thought we would have. But on the positive side, the thing that I was most excited about then and remain most excited about now is what if this system can dramatically increase the rate of scientific knowledge in society? That is I think that kind of like all real sustainable economic growth, the future getting better, progress in some sense, comes from increased scientific and technological capacity. So we can solve all other problems. And if the AI can help us do that, that's always been the thing I've been most excited about.
Well, it certainly seems like that is the greatest positive potential of AI. Is to solve a lot of the problems that human beings have had forever, a lot of the societal problems that seem to be, that's why I was talking about an AI president. I'm kind of not joking, because I feel like if something was hyper intelligent and aware of all the variables with no human bias and no incentives, other than here's your program, the greater good for the community of the United States and the greater good for that community as it interacts with the rest of the world. The elimination of these dictators, whether they're elected or non-elected, who impose their will on the population because they have a vested interest in protecting special interest groups and industry.
I think as long as the thing that I find scary when you say that is it feels like it's humanity not in control. And right. I reflexively don't like that. But if it's instead like it is the collective will of humanity being expressed without the mistranslation and corrupting influences along the way, then I can see it.
Is that possible? It seems like it would be. It seems like if it was programmed in that regard to do the greater good for humanity and take into account the values of humanity, the needs of humanity.
There's something about the phrase "do the greater good for humanity."
I know, it's terrifying. It's very Orwellian. All of it is. But also, so is artificial general intelligence.
For sure.
Open the door.
I
Hal.
wish I had worked on, something that was less morally fraught.
But do you? Because it's
No,
really
no.
exciting.
I mean, I cannot imagine a cooler thing to work on. I feel unbelievably. I feel like the luckiest person on earth.
That's
but
awesome.
It is not. It's not on easy mode. Let's say that.
Oh,
This is
yeah.
not life on easy mode.
No. I mean, you are at the forefront of one of the most spectacular changes in human history. And I would say more spectacular than the implementation of the internet. I think the implementation of the internet was the first baby steps of this, and that artificial general intelligence is it is the internet on steroids. It's the internet in hyperspace.
What I would say is it's the next step, and there will be more steps after. But it's
Yes.
our most exciting step yet.
Yeah. My wonder is, what are those next steps after?
Isn't
And
that so exciting to think about?
It's very exciting. I think we're the last people. I really do. I think we're the last of the biological people with all the biological problems. I think there's
And do you feel excited about that?
I just think that's just what it is.
You're just fine with it.
It is what it is, I mean, that I don't think you can control it at this point, other than some massive natural disaster that resets us back to the Stone Age, which is also something we should be very concerned with, because it seems like that happens a lot and we're not aware of it, because the timeline of a human body is so small. The timeline of the human existence as a person is 100 years if you're lucky, but yet the timeline of the Earth is billions of years. And if you look at how many times life on Earth has been reset by comets slamming into the Earth and just completely eliminating all technological advancement, it seems like it's happened multiple times in recorded history.
I always think we don't think about that quite enough. We talked about the simulation hypothesis earlier. It's had this big resurgence in the tech industry recently. One of the new takes on it as we get closer to AGI is that, if ancestors were simulating us, the time they'd want to simulate again and again is right up to the lead up to the creation of AGI.
Yeah.
So it seems very crazy we're living through this time, but it's not a coincidence at all. This is the time that is after we had enough cell phones out in the world, like recording tons of video to train the video model of the world that's all being like jacked into us now via brain implants or whatever. And before everything goes really crazy with AGI. And it's also this interesting time to simulate, like, can we get through? Does the asteroid come right before we get there for dramatic tension? Like, do we figure out how to make this safe? Do we figure out how to societally agree on it? So that's led to like a lot more people believing in it than before, I think.
Yeah, for sure. And again,
Hey, woman, since your man ain't got no heart, why don't you go to our apartment tonight and I'll show you a real man?
there you go.
What? Fuck you.